Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back in my channel. So in this video, we will be talking about chapter number 1, data representation, and our most important question. And in they can ask this question in a different way: that why is it important to use hex digit in our system? So what is hex? First question is hex. So hex is one of the number system from computer science. It is usually read it hexadecimal. It contains 16 digits, 0 till 15. Its base is 16, and it is most commonly used in computer for different purposes. Why use hex? Hexadecimal numbers are often used as a beneficial method of data representation in computer science. It takes fewer data digits to represent a given value in hexadecimal than in binary or denary. One hexadecimal digits can represent 4 bits of binary number. It is beneficial to use hexadecimal over binary number. The more bits there are in a binary number, the harder it is to read. So numbers with more bits are more prone to error when being copied. So how is hexadecimal used in computer? There are a lot of ways we can use hexadecimal digits in our system. It allows computer scientists to represent larger amounts of binary data in a more manageable and readable formats. There are many uses of hexadecimal in computers, and some of the uses I have mentioned here, like memory management, memory addresses, representation of color values. We can use it to represent error messages, memory dump, debugging, IP addresses. We have already talked about IP addresses. ASCII and Unicode. We can use hexadecimal to represent URLs and assembly language. How is data hexadecimal used in computer system? So, first of all, representation of colors value in HTML and CSS in computer graphics like RGB. Colors values can be represented in a compact and readable formats. We can use hex to represent error messages and debugging to give technician developer information about what the error is in relation to. Memory dump. This is a record of what happened in the computer's memory at the time of an error. These are often difficult to read because they contains a lot of technical information. But computers can use hexadecimal values in memory dump to identify specific memory location and value. For example, a given game on a computer crashes and a memory dump is created. A technician analyzes the memory dump and look for hexadecimal values to identify the cause of the crash. They might look for a specific memory addresses and values that relate to the game being played or the graphic card in the computer. If you don't know what are the graphic cards, you can check my other videos. I have already talked about the graphic cards in that in very detail. For IP addresses, we have already talked about IP addresses and MAC addresses. And here I'm giving you the quick recap. If you want to know more in detail, you can go and watch my video. IP addresses. Hexadecimal values can be used to represent each set of numbers in an IP address. Each set of numbers can be converted into a 2-digit hexadecimal value, giving a total of 8 digits in the IP address. The IP address can be represented in hexadecimal like this: CO8 8001. The hexadecimal values can make IP addresses easier to work with in some cases, such as when configuring network devices or writing script. It interact with IP address. However, they are not commonly used in everyday application of browsing the internet. And we can use hexadecimal digits to represent ASCII and Unicode. I hope you know ASCII. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange, and it is used to represent every letter have some specific ASCII number. So letter A is represented in ASCII as the decimal value is 65, which is equivalent to the binary 0, 1, 0000001. This binary value can also be represented in hexadecimal as the 41. So it's difficult to remember binary of A, but it's easy to remember the hex of A, that's 41. Assembly language. So we can use hex in assembly language. I hope you know what is assembly language. If you don't know, let me give you the quick recap. Assembly language is a low-level language. It uses mnemonics to represent words. Like if you're using addition, then it can be add. If you're saying subtraction, so it can be sub. So hexadecimal values are used in assembly language to represent the binary code for the instructions and data. Each instruction or data value is represented by a specific sequence of hexadecimal digits, which can make it easier for programmer to read and understand the code. For example, in assembly language, we will write MOVAX. 5. Instruction is represented by hexa value B805, which tells the computer to move the value 5 into a register AX. Next, commonly used hex in URLs. And to encode a space in a URL using hexadecimal, the space character is replaced by a percent sign, followed by the hexadecimal value of the space character. In ASCII, the space character has a decimal value of 32, which can be represented in hexadecimal as 20. So to encode the URL myspacewebsite.com/page space 1 using hexadecimal, it would look like this: my percentage, wherever I will be getting space in my code, I'll be replacing the space with percentage sign. My percentage 20, which is the hex code of a space, website.com/page, again percentage 20 and then 1. In exam, they can give you the scenario or they can give you the number and they can ask you to convert it into um, hexadecimal or binary to denary and so on. So here is one of the question I have mentioned. The following binary number has 24 bits. Write the number in hexadecimal and explain why it is better to write the number in hexadecimal rather than in binary. So we have already talked about why. If you don't know, please go back to my previous slides and watch that again. And I hope you can convert the number into hexadecimal very easily. If you don't, you can go and watch my other video where I have talked about conversion between binary to hex. Okay, so this number can be represented with only 6 digits in hexadecimal. So I have already represented, and there are a lot of reasons you can mention. 2 reasons I have mentioned: much shorter and a more efficient way of representing numbers, easier to spot any error in our code. So that's it for today. If you want to know more about hex or any topic related to CIEs or computer science, please do let me know in the comment section box. I will be happy to help you out. If you like this video, subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.